Producer Perk, what do you want to talk about? What was your tweet?
I'm about to tell you what my tweet was. My tweet was, the Cavs got the it factor. It's must. We talk about Cleveland tomorrow on NBA Today. Ain't that right? At Malika Andrews.
He added you, Malika.
And
I know.
carry the hell on.
Yeah.
And that's right. I'm producer. I want you all to hear what Giannis had to say about the Cavs last night, too, while he was eating them good chicken wings they be having in Cleveland.
What you guys got?
So the first time you saw them in early December, Chris at postgame was like, that's a much better team. And Cleveland's got something going. So what, obviously they played well tonight. What did you see from them, maybe come in the cut-ups, and then what did you see tonight?
We sucked. Played bad. They made shots. They played good. They played better than us.
I mean, what do you think of those? The wings plus the sentiment, Big Perk?
Yeah, I mean, look, when you look at this Cavs team, I'm watching them. They have these twin towers, okay, and Allen and Mobley. And the way that they're protecting the basket is something beautiful to watch. They might be the best defensive tandem for as bigs in the NBA. Mobley, he's winning Rookie of the Year. But then you have the setup guy in Garland. Look, Garland is a phenomenal talent. Something about Garland says superstar written all over it, okay? He's going to be a first-time All-Star. Then you have a bench, and they have wings, okay? They have wings, athletic wings. When you talk about that they drafted, Forza Kuro, Cedi Osman, those guys to that nature. But then they have a Coach of the Year candidate. But when I look at the Cleveland Cavaliers, hear me out, in the Eastern Conference, their ceiling is the conference finals. No team in the East want to see them in the first or the second round. I'm saying it here right now.
Okay, so that's in the playoffs, but the Cavs, they've won 3 straight now. They sit at third in the East. So back it up for just a second, Vince Carter, before we get to that go into the Eastern Finals. I'll just bring it back 1 sec. What do you attribute their successes to this season, Vince?
Everybody has bought into Coach J.B. Bickerstaff first and foremost. They bought into what he's preaching, what he's brought to the table. Hey, if he said everybody's going to eat, everybody's going to have success if we play together and buy in. And oh, by the way, I agree with you. Evan Mobley is playing at an Rookie of the Year level. Yeah, I think he can win it. Garland will definitely make an All-Star, or should. And the Twin Towers, like you said, I mean, I feel like Perk and I sat and we wrote this together because he's the same sentiments. And you got to show some love to the old fella, Kevin Love, because from the beginning of the year, we were like, maybe he's done. And, they're trying to move him and being a role player. But now we're looking at Kevin Love and saying, wait a minute, new life here. And he's coming off the bench, balling for these guys. Kevin Love is just playing outstanding basketball. And every time you look in the standings, you see the Cavs have won, and then you look at that number, that stat line, and see Kevin Love is just getting it done because he's a champion. He knows what it takes. He knows how to win, and they trust him coming off with the second unit being the go-to guy.
And Kevin Love has gone through it, publicly with his basketball career, and he's been a huge advocate as well for mental health. And this reminds me of something that you've said, Perk, time and time again, because that's the essence of Perk when it comes to hooping. Be a star in your role. And they have so many players that are stars in their roles, taking whatever their ego is and throwing it out the door, including Kevin Love, and realizing this is the best position not only for me, but also for my entire team. So whether it is Darius Garland, Jarrett Allen, Evan Mobley, Kevin Love, they've all put the ego, you know what they say as coaches, JB Bickers, check the ego at the door, and guess what? On the other side of fear of that is freedom, and they are balling now. Perk. I don't know about that Eastern Conference.
I was going to say, what do you think their ceiling is in the East? Because it's one thing to be at third at this point in the regular season. We heard what Big Perk had to say.
Yeah,
so.
I like to walk before I run, but my man is a sprinter.
Oh, yeah, he's going.
But I will like to say that based on everything we have seen so far, they consistently have been at the top of the East this season. So they're in the playoffs. They win around. I think that they can surprise some people. Maybe not so much as the Hawks last year in the East, but maybe build that requisite experience where I love the quote. I can't remember which player said it, but they were like, you know what? We're trying to create our own identity in Cleveland separate from LeBron.
Well,
and that's exactly what you're saying.
Right. I do want to stick with the Cavaliers here, but I want to bring in senior writer Brian Windhorst to talk about them a little bit more. Windy, the trade deadline It's February 10th. So what's Cleveland's plan as the deadline approaches?
I can't believe Perk passed on saying that Kevin Love gave Giannis a 25-piece wing dinger. I thought that was
I left it for you. I left it for you, Wendy.
You'll never get video like that again.
Yeah, you're right. Right.
Thank you. So the Cavs are one of the most active teams, Malika, because you have to realize they're down 3 starter quality players in Colin Sexton, Ricky Rubio, both likely done for the year, and Larry Markkinen, who they haven't given an injury update, but he had a terrible ankle sprain. He's going to be out an extended period. They have 5 pieces that they could use in a trade. One of them they were given today. Today they were granted a $9 million disabled player exception by the league for the Ricky Rubio season-ending ACL. They can use that to trade for a player with 1 year left on his contract. League executives believe a main target for that will be Dennis Schroeder, who fits into that trade exception. Such a trade would potentially take the Celtics below the luxury tax, and he could help them on the perimeter. But from what I believe and what I hear, I think the Cavs are going to look for multiple deals at the deadline, including targeting Eric Gordon. They've already had some discussions with the Rockets. The Rockets have told the league that they want a first-round pick for Eric Gordon. The Cavs have Ricky Rubio, who they could trade for him. And they also have 3 picks in this draft, 2 high second-round picks and potentially a late first-round pick, depending on their record. I could see them haggling it out with the Rockets towards the deadline. I wouldn't be surprised if they're able to add 2 players between now and February 10th.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.